gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
It's time for the Early Bird Special. Bringing you the best stories from the world of sports and sports entertainment. Now, here are your hosts, Sparky and Burdick.
Welcome back to the Early Bird Special, Hour 2. We have a special guest in the building, Sparky.
We do.
559 fights this weekend out in Visalia, and we got one of their top fighters here in the building. Thomas is in with us. What's going on, brother?
Not much.
Not much?
Here, man. Just,
fantastic.
Enjoy Wednesday.
We'll say the toppest.
Toppest.
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna actually go out to a 559 fights for the first time. So before we get into anything, what can we expect at 559 fights 114?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a good environment to be around.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend going to a show up there. It's definitely worth the drive. It's definitely worth just the experience in itself, just watching all the fights, man. Watching fights in person is, I think, a different experience than watching them on TV.
And you know Bakersfield, they enjoy fights.
Well, I mean, we just had a slew of them at a country concert over the weekend. So
good old boys.
So much that the guy had to stop the concert and say how crazy we were, and everybody cheered. Everybody, I saw the video of that. That was wild. He was like, there's been multiple fights, and all I hear is people say, yeah. And I'm like, really? Like, are we Letterkenny? What's happening?
Well, you can get your tickets now. Just go to 559fights.com. And if you're looking for some VIP info, call 559-813-0307. Doors open Saturday at 6. Fights start at 6:30.
Let's get a little bit about you, though, my friend. What's your background in all of this? I know you started jiu-jitsu a couple years ago, correct?
Yeah. So when I first started going, I just did jiu-jitsu for the first, I think, like 3 months. I never even thought of striking. I always thought that was too complicated and too much work.
Right.
The whole conditioning and just everything in general that came along with it. And
Right.
I always told myself I would never do that. And then eventually I transitioned over into going and trying it out, and then it just got addicting.
So what got you started in the jiu-jitsu game, though?
Actually, my brother actually started going there first, and
Really?
he would always just say, "Hey, go try it out. Go try it out."
He needed
go
a
try it
sparring
out."
partner,
And
essentially, is what
then,
happened?
Yeah, and then eventually I just want to go try it out, and I think it becomes addicting knowing that you have to suck at it in order to get good eventually, and just knowing like the transition of yourself evolving and learning, then it just gets something.
The
there.
repetitive nature.
Yeah,
and
correct.
stuff.
And then
Yeah.
it's at the time I was a bit heavier, so it helped with losing weight and just keeping me busy, man.
Right.
It's definitely something I recommend for everyone to try.
So obviously fights go in weight classes and stuff like that. So where do you usually fluctuate? So for people who don't know,
So I usually walk around like 150.
150.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, but this fight that you're in this weekend is a little bit less for you, right? You're at 135.
Yeah, so I have to make down the cut to 135 exactly. Yeah.
What's that like, having to shed that much weight for your fights?
It takes a lot just because you have to be more disciplined on what you eat and what you consume all the time. And then towards the end of the week, you just have to water load a lot. And once you drain yourself with from water, like being in the sauna and everything, man, you just feel depleted at that point. And the way you feel, it's not the best feeling in the world. It makes you doubt yourself and why you're doing it and why you're putting yourself through everything that you're doing.
Well, pain is gain, man. That's what it's all
right.
about. But okay, so how does that affect your fighting style, though? Because obviously you're more jiu-jitsu, I would assume, than you are striking. But how does that affect your strikes and stuff like that? Does it actually pull your punching power a little bit more?
It just depends. I mean, I think it is hard because we have to weigh in the same day, so we don't get a full day of replenishing again. It is hard because even after that, you have to make sure that you rehydrate properly. If you don't, then your body's not gonna really react right, and you could just have an off night.
Now, usually when you move around in weight classes, the fighting styles could change a lot. One could be a little more aggressive than the other. Is there a lot of changes when you go from 130 to like 150?
I feel like 135 is just a little faster.
Is it?
It's more of a movement thing, just because the guys are lighter than say at 45.
A little more energy based fighting and stuff like
correct, yeah.
that. Okay, that's cool. Have you ever fought at this venue before?
Not at this one. I fought at their baseball field for my first time when I first made my debut out there.
Okay. So this is more of like a homecoming thing for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Trying to make it
Well,
a good one.
Speak to that then. Like, how's it kind of feel to come or go back to Visalia now? What, like 4, 5, 6 fights into your?
4 fights now. Man, it feels actually pretty amazing. I think it's a interesting story. I would say I started out over there 0-1, and then I eventually got 2 wins. I've lost a split decision. It's just crazy thinking about how everything has worked out in order for me to get a title fight out there. I never saw myself in that situation. I never even saw myself doing 5 fights now. In the process, I thought I was just going to be one and done, but then it just becomes addicting after you win, man. It just starts getting addicting. That adrenaline you get from winning is the highest of highs, you know?
No, absolutely.
And this one's a belt match, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, so it's even better.
Talk about your opponent, then. What do you expect to see?
I expect him to
drop.
Hopefully.
And I expect a good fight out of him, man. I expect him to bring it. I'm pretty sure he's excited for the title fight as I am, man. I'm pretty sure that it's just going to be a lot of adrenaline going through, especially being a title fight. It's a different kind of adrenaline that you're going to get, and, you know, being able to control yourself and the nerves and everything that day. I think that day specifically was the biggest nerves that it comes down to. I think building up, yeah, of course, there's.
And this is your first belt match, right?
Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I mean, everyone's got to go out, and you're a Bakersfield guy, right?
Yeah.
So you grew up, born and raised here.
Born and raised here in Bakersfield. I trained down the street from here at Burgos Mixed Martial Arts. Yeah, everything just
kind of works that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. That's awesome. I didn't know you were a Bakersfield boy. So what high school did you go to then?
Bakersfield High School.
Oh, okay. So you're a BHS grad then. Yeah. You didn't do wrestling or anything?
No, I actually grew up playing soccer there.
Oh, really?
I actually played varsity soccer there.
That's a heck of a transition from soccer to jiu-jitsu.
It does, but
there's kicking involved though, right?
Yeah, exactly. It helps with the striking. It helps, you know, the kicks and stuff. You know how to shift the hips.
Are we going to see a Pele kick tonight?
Hey, we're hoping to see something.
Some little roundhouse bicycle or something. You know?
Hopefully, man. Hopefully we see something good that day.
So I mean, this you're 2-2. What I saw, and the first or the 2 wins that you got were by submission.
Correct.
I know you've got into more of striking training. So I mean, it's going to be your first match. I know the last one was a decision at the end, which we'll just call BS now. But we'll be out there promoting and helping you out. So I mean, a Bakersfield boy on the fight card this Saturday at the Visalia Convention Center. Tickets are on sale at 559fights.com. We'll continue to pump it up. So fight number 5, and you already got a belt shot. Now, this is your second one in this weight class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my second fight to 135.
So, I mean, at these events, for somebody that's never been out to a 559 fights, I mean, how many fights are on the card? Do you know?
I think it's usually few jiu-jitsu matches, and then after that's maybe like about 12 or 13 MMA
it's gonna be a whole day then.
But the actual rounds are only 2 minutes for the regular ones, so they actually fly by. I mean, if you think about it, it's not that much. They actually get them rolling out.
6 to 10 minutes at the longest, probably.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, and then the title fights are 3-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's pretty traditional in the UFC area to be around that size. So it's interesting to me how many you guys have, though. I mean, 13 is a good amount of fighters.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. I feel like it goes by really smoothly over there.
Right.
I've gone to other events where it feels like it takes much longer. But over there, I feel like it's really smooth as the fights just go on, like one after another. They're just having them come out, and it's good, especially when you start seeing a lot of finishes. It makes it even faster at that point, you know. I mean, pumped up. It's entertaining, you know, just watching people get knocked out.
Yeah, everybody wants to see a knockout or a tap out, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, so you've talked about it a couple times. Before we let you go, I have to ask, because you've said that after your first win, it gets addicting. So what did your first win feel like? Like, go tell everybody what actually happened, and then what like you felt like after that win.
So I think we went into the second round. I ended up being on top, and then it was a scramble, and somehow he ended up on top. I was able to lock in that triangle from the bottom guard.
Nice.
And then he tapped out, and I feel like there was animosity at that point. We didn't like each other.
Right.
And I feel like just winning felt unreal at the same time.
Validating a little bit.
But at the same time, it felt like short because I worked so hard that camp, and I felt like I didn't even get to test myself out really. So I felt like it was so much left for me to show at that point. And it just felt like I needed to do it again in order to see where I kept on evolving every single time that I've had a break between fights.
Okay. So it's more of like I want to go out and prove myself kind of a feeling than a like adrenaline rush is what you'd say.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're bound to lose. You're bound to win, man. You gotta be okay with the consequences of the worst thing happening and the best thing happening to you. You just have to hope that you're on the good highlight instead of the bad highlight, right?
Exactly. You're not the one to sleep.
Correct.
Oh, besides when I was doing prep, ahead of this interview, I saw not only do you do the MMA fights, but you also take place in some jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Oh yeah. So whenever I'm not getting ready for a fight, I try to go do jiu-jitsu tournaments.
You probably ran into a couple of my family members then, to be honest with you.
Oh, maybe, man. It's a big scene out there.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's definitely a good experience to have. Gets you going with just the grappling itself and conditioning itself, doing multiple matches out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it's hand in hand with just the whole MMA, the whole experience. It helps you learn how to calm your nerves as well.
Do you have a go-to hold that you like to get, you like to run most of the time, like maybe the triangle or something like that?
No, honestly, I just try to always focus on kind of learning and evolving new ones. I feel like at the tournaments is the perfect time to test yourself out with random things that you might not try in a fight, because it's more risky in a fight than at a tournament. I mean, you're gonna lose the tournament, you're gonna get tapped out, It's not like you're gonna be one and done all the time. So I feel like there I just go and kind of try the things I always try in class or I want to try. That's the thing, to try against someone I've never met, I've never known their style. As to where in class people know our styles, and
I was gonna say, is there? I mean, how long have you had to know who you're gonna fight and be able to have that time to train up against this fighter this weekend?
So as soon as I found out, which was maybe, I think we got like 8 weeks in advance. So as soon as they offer you the fight, they send you the opponent, and then from there you either say
do your homework,
and then you pretty much do your homework. But I mean, I don't think there's really much to think about when they say it's a title fight. You just kind of, hey, I gotta take it, I mean, I gotta beat this guy in order. I'll probably end up, if I win, I end up fighting someone else similar to him or anyone like that. You can't really have an option at that point.
Well, besides that, my final question, which fighters have really been your influence? I know your brothers helped out a lot. I mean, is there any fighters that we would know that you kind of influenced and watch tape and you learn from?
Yeah, actually, besides my coach, of course, with him always helping me out, as far as like professional fighters that are more, I guess, well known, I would say one, I like Jose Aldo, just because his kicks, I like his kicks. Even Justin Gaethje's kicks are really good. I like Frankie Edgar just because he was smaller and I feel like ahead of his time in a way, and he didn't really cut weight. He didn't belong in the weight class he was in, but he would go and beat these bigger guys that were supposed to beat him and stuff like that. So Dominic Cruz, one of my favorite fighters. I would say his style in general, how he made his own style. He was always sticking to his own game, and he knew what he was good at. And even though it didn't really look like he knew what he was doing, he always knows what he's doing. But yeah, some of the few.
Well, we're pumped, dude. I mean, you got your title fight this Saturday, and I'll say it again. Get your tickets, 559fights.com. We'll have to get you back on here and bring in your title after you win it this weekend.
Definitely, man.
And we'll be there. We'll pump you up, and I mean, we really appreciate you taking time out and getting up this early and joining us. And we'll continue to pump up the fights as we get closer to Saturday. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 6:30. You do know which fight you are?
Yeah, I'm the last 3. So
Nice.
I'm the first of 3 title fights.
Nice.
So
okay, very cool.
Well, do your thing, and we'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you.
Good, man. Thank you.
And we are the Early Bird Special. We'll get into some more NFL rules that are getting voted on as of today. Then we'll join with snacks at 8:30 right here on the Early Bird Special, ESPN Bakersfield, 12:30 a.m.
101.1 FM.